And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
Well, like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now that you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Richter, Arnold, okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
how
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile. Smile going on some shoes, but you know.
Wait, hold up.
You got.
I gotta
when it's
try
time,
this with you.
when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try
you
this
gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
I'm rockin' with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Yeah. Good morning. It is a Thursday. I hope you guys are having a thriving, thrilling Thursday today. There's all kinds of reasons to be happy today, all kinds of reasons to be excited about today. You know what I'm saying? Man, tomorrow's Friday. Let me just say that again. Tomorrow is Friday. Small reminder. You know what I mean? For those of y'all who have been struggling to get through the weekend, through the week, I'm sorry, for sure. I got to be honest. It has been a crazy week for me. Got a lot of stuff coming around the bend for the show that I'm very, very excited about, which I'm going to be making some announcements later on in the show today. But we do have a lot of stuff that we got to talk about today. One particular story that we're going to be covering that's very, very serious because let's be real, even I don't even understand what's going on here. It is the wildest, weirdest story that I've seen in a while. And we've seen a lot of crazy stuff here. Am I right, fam? So we have to jump into this for sure. But before we do, got to say hello to my brother, David. David's in the house. What's up, baby?
Hey, man. Most things are good here. Having a bit of a frustrating morning, but hoping to turn it around after the show.
That's good. That's good. I mean, you know, hopefully this will be a nice, tight, not short, but a decent sized show. And then you can go back to whatever the heck you are doing. Hopefully everything's going on. Hopefully everything that's going on in your neck of the woods is okay, though. Real talk.
Yeah.
I have to ask first, you know what I'm saying? Because you're my friend. You know what I mean? You're my pal. You're my chum. I want to make sure you're okay. You feel me?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just what my that stupid AC started squealing again. Scared my dog, so he pooped on the floor, and then my computer wasn't working for like a half hour. So it's a very annoying morning.
Your AC scared the crap out of your dog.
Literally, yeah. Because I fixed the fan yesterday, so I guess it's the motor. Because every time it stops for like 12 hours, and then it wakes me up screeching again. It's so very annoying.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry. Is it time to get a new AC unit? I guess.
Maybe. I think I just need the motor because that's the only thing I haven't replaced at this point. So everything else is new, other than the chassis, I guess.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, bad luck this year on this because I never had problems with this thing for 6 years, and this year every single thing is broken inside of it. It's really annoying.
Well, ladies, he is also very handy. All right, he knows his way around a few tools.
Yeah,
ladies.
Never saw one before. Now I'm an expert on them, I guess.
That's crazy, but there you go.
Yeah.
You learn something when you got to just deal with it when you're out in the boonies, right?
Yeah.
When you're off the grid, I guess, in a way. Interesting. But hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully everything gets figured out in your neck of the woods. Real talk. Like, you know, that's pretty crappy, you know? That's never, ever any fun. But before we jump into everything, of course, you know, guys, please go, you know, before we jump into the news and before we get into the nitty gritty, before we get all up in it, go down this crazy rabbit hole, which is this story of this missing YouTuber by the name of Gabby Petito. Please be sure before you do anything, hit that like button down below. Send those likes all the way up wherever you are watching this show. If you're watching this through Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, hit that like button down below. Okay? Please do that for me. And of course, wherever you're watching this show as well, be sure to crush that subscribe button. All right. It'd be really great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. So wherever you're watching this, that means hit that follow button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Okay. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. Anyway, we do have to get into it. We got to jump into this story. This is a wild one. I got to be honest. This one's weird, and this one's been developing over the past couple days. I've been seeing other people cover this story, and I've been seeing it trending. Now it's trending really, really hard on Twitter right now because the body cam footage of this particular that surrounds this missing person's case or situation has been released like in the past 2 hours. So we are going to be looking at this body cam footage here very, very shortly. But of course, before we jump into all of that, we have got to get a small background, at least a lead up to explain what the heck is really going on. Who is this Gabby Petito? What is the story? I got a news clip that I thought was pretty damn good that covers it fairly well. So I figured, you know what? Instead of us reading some big ass article, because like I said, this goes down a very, very deep rabbit hole that just gets weirder and weirder. Especially they tap on it in this news clip. But I think this is a very good, just kind of a refresher for those of y'all who haven't been covering it or who haven't been reading about this or checking this out. This is a weird, bizarre story, and a lot of questions. I got a lot of questions, y'all. So let's take a look at this.
We thank you for joining us at 7 o'clock. I'm David Ushery. Tonight, there are some new twists and turns in the case of a woman from Long Island who disappeared while on a road trip. Gabby Petito from Blue Point hasn't been heard from since the last week of August. Her family believes she might be over 2,100 miles away in Wyoming. Today, neighbors of her fiance, Brian Laundrie, revealed police found the van she was traveling in at his home in Northport, Florida. No sign of Gabby, though, and tonight, the fiance is refusing to cooperate with police. Justin,
I'm sorry for pausing it, but let me say this real quick. You heard that. They went on a road trip out. I guess they were in Florida.
I think they were in Yellowstone.
No. I'm saying where they left. Oh,
yeah.
So they left Florida. They were leaving Florida because I guess they were at a graduation celebration for a family member. All right. So they took their road trip from Florida and drove cross country, basically a road trip. And I love road trips. That's just me. I like road trips a lot. So, and I've done them multiple times. So they drove from Florida and allegedly went out to Wyoming. Last place she was found or seen was in Wyoming. Okay. Now, I don't know where she initially lives, where she originally lives at, but boyfriend went, or fiance, I think it's the fiance, correction. Fiance turns his ass back around, takes the van back home without her in it. Okay. Now he is literally refusing to help within the investigation with this missing case of Gabby Petito, which doesn't make any bloody sense to me at all whatsoever. Let's continue though, real quick.
Shecker from our NBC station in Tampa is at the home tonight with the emotional plea from Gabby's father.
Northport police say the search for 22-year-old Gabby Petito remains a missing persons case. At this time, they have no evidence a crime occurred. The boyfriend's family referred police to their attorney.
And I think most people would think that this individual might have some details as far as last time he saw her, the last whereabouts. Yeah, I think it has not been helpful that we have not been able to talk to him.
Petito had been living with her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, at his parents' home in Southwest Florida. That's where Northport police say on Saturday night they recovered the 2012 white Ford van from the couple's cross-country road trip. Northport police are processing that van for evidence. Back on July 2nd, Petito and her boyfriend left New York for a trip out west. They documented their visits to national parks on social media. Petito's mom says communication began to dwindle in late August, and she last spoke with her daughter on August 25th. This past Saturday, family reported her missing to Suffolk County Police. In a statement, an attorney for the Laundrie family says, It is our understanding that a search has been organized for Miss Petito in or near Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. On behalf of the Laundrie family, it is our hope that the search for Miss Petito is successful and that Miss Petito is reunited with her family. Gabby's family is holding on to hope she will be found safe and sound.
Look at every picture that you're going to see on this screen. Watch the video. Let her face burn it into your memory. Let the way she stands, talks, walks. You know, the holds the peace signs up. She's got the let it be on her forearm. Burn those images into your memory when you're driving down the road or you're hiking a trail. If you think you see her, call a tip line.
At this time, police have not charged the boyfriend nor named him a suspect in Gabby Petito's disappearance. The FBI is also involved in this investigation to bring Gabby home.
You know, I have a lot of background on this one.
I was going to say, because I do have a couple things here too. So before we hop in all that, let's throw some commentary and then we'll go into the background information as well. So here it is. So they go out, they go on this trip. He goes back home without her. All right. And suddenly, to me, it doesn't make any sense that one moment she is with him. She leaves Florida after this event. They go on a road trip, this cross-country road trip. We do have body cam footage, which we are going to be looking at here very, very shortly because they just released this body cam footage, which shows something, just to say that. He turns around, goes back home without her. Then the parents, of course, are going, where does she go? Where is she? What's going on? And they refuse. This man refuses. The fiance, or we're about to find out some more information, ex-fiance, has some sort of problem with helping within the investigation of the missing, of the disappearance of Gabby Petito. To me, this doesn't make any sense. The fact that they haven't charged him with anything yet doesn't make any sense. I know David's got some more information. I got some information as well, but I'm going to throw it over to you. Like I said, this whole story does not make any sense. Now, I mean, there are some theories. I have some theories. Now, haven't seen any theories out there. My thoughts are there are some, my own independent thoughts are, maybe she just wanted to be left alone. Maybe she wanted to be, maybe she just left him. Maybe she just wanted to be set free. I don't know. Maybe he did something heinous or, grisly as taking her life. That is a very good possibility because of the more information that we do have here. I don't know what information that David has, but I do have some other information as far as the quote unquote fiance wasn't a fiance anymore. He was an ex-fiance. So there's a lot going on, and there's a lot that goes on in this body cam footage, but let me throw it over to David. Go on, man. Speak on it.
There is some background to this that's pretty important because before they went up to Wyoming, they were in Moab, which is in Utah, about an hour and a half away from here. And so multiple witnesses were there watching this, and they were having an argument, and she kept attacking him, pushed him into the van, was hitting him, and he wasn't defending himself or anything. So she just kept beating on him until they called the police. The police showed up. They tried to separate them, force her to stay away from him, but she refused to separate. So ultimately, the police said they would not press charges or arrest either of them if they separated for that one night. So they separated for that one night. They said that Laundrie was at a mild risk of death or danger from her. And then since they refused to be separated, they ended up getting back together. They went up to Wyoming near Yellowstone. I think they were actually in the wilderness near the Teton Park, not in the Teton itself. And when you go in a wilderness, you are supposed to check yourself in with the SAR, search and rescue, so that they know where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to check out and everything. Because if you don't show up at the right time, they start a search and rescue immediately. So I'm assuming they did not do that because there was no immediate search and rescue for going past their time in the wilderness. So they never probably checked in properly from what I can tell. However, they were going on a long hike through this wilderness. It wasn't just a one-day thing. This is a region like a lot of the Rockies that has grizzlies, it has gray wolves, mountain lions. I mean, just a couple months ago, a mountain lion killed a guy that was on his bicycle. His girlfriend kept riding off, and it killed him, took him to its lair. These are problems that happen in the mountains at times, especially when you're by yourself and when you're petite. So there is this history of violence between them. And then they go into this park for a long time. It doesn't seem like they checked in with search and rescue like you should for safety reasons. There they did have a pass, so they were there legally. And then while they were in the wilderness, something happened, I guess, and he came back without her. She's originally from Long Island, though she was staying in Florida with him. And after he left the wilderness, he went back home. The police tried to get into hold of him, at which point he got a lawyer, and his lawyer said that he would not be answering any questions immediately.
Yes.
And that he needed to just not talk. I mean, I have a few possibilities I think might have happened here, but it's hard to say. I'm basically just like, I have ideas that might have happened, but I don't have any evidence to say what most likely happened. I mean, obviously the suspicion is that he killed her and left her. That's the one that people are already talking about in chat, of course. It's also possible they split up and she did get killed by an animal, or she got lost. I mean, we don't know that she was the one that had the outdoor skills because she refused to separate from him in the wilderness at any point. Could have been he was the only one that knew how to survive out there, and they separated and she couldn't survive. Like I said, wilderness is a dangerous place. Don't get me wrong. People die out there all the time. They find corpses. I mean, it's not like it's a death sentence to go out in the wilderness and anything. But if you're not careful and you don't know what you're doing, it is. I mean, people fall off mountains because they're not watching where they're walking. They get taken out by cougars and stuff because they don't watch their back.
But my thing is that that's all fine and dandy, y'all. That's all fine and dandy. But why not come back and say her life was taken? You see what I'm saying? Why not just say there was an accident and she fell? Oh my God. And then. Why not him get in front and say what's up? Now, here's some more information real quick before we go down into that rabbit hole of the damn nature, you scary. Which is true. Nature is very, very scary. If you by yourself or if you don't really know what the hell you're doing. And that's a good possibility. She may not be as what's the word? As trained as Brian. Okay, her boyfriend or former fiance's name is Brian Laundrie. Okay, and so here I got some more information. Okay, so Gabby and her boyfriend, who is actually a former fiance, they had been engaged in July of 2020. But her friends report they had decided to back away from the engagement and go back to just boyfriend-girlfriend some months ago. Brian Laundrie started a YouTube channel and went on an extended adventure visiting all the national parks in the USA. So, for example, if he's used to hiking, maybe she's not. Like what Dave is basically saying. I'm just backing what David is saying. His whole thing is going to all these different national parks throughout the USA. I'm assuming she decided to just kind of hop on and be a part of one of his great adventures, right? Now, it seems as though Gabby's friends do not believe the most recent posts were made by her. Some believe everything from around July 28th forward was him, but some say only the most recent post was him. This is all obviously alleged. This is all a speculation. So what happened was she was in constant contact with her family daily until August 25th, literally called someone daily to tell them where she was and what she was experiencing on her travels. After the 25th, the calls just stopped. Eventually, her family became concerned and contacted Brian Laundrie's family, who refused to take their calls. So after the 25th, the calls stopped. Family got concerned, started contacting Brian's family, and Brian's family was refusing to pick up their when they called them. Okay. After a few days after Gabby and the traveling van, which belonged to her, were reported missing. So the van was hers too. Brian Laundrie was pulled over by Florida police driving it. No Gabby. He won't talk, and he asked for his lawyer. As of today, his lawyer has put out a statement basically saying that they hope Gabby is found, but they won't be commenting further on it. And he wants to stay in the background during the investigation and search. Now, the obvious question is, how do you stay in the background when you're the only person with her and the last person to see her, and you drove her van back to Florida without her in it? So, very, very interesting. Now, obviously, there's some other stuff where they kind of go into some weird stuff, saying that this particular post basically saying that Brian Laundrie's Instagram page is showing his obsession with dark reading material, including a book specifically about taking people's lives while on a road trip called Lullaby by, I can't pronounce his last name properly, but the guy who wrote Fight Club, Chuck Palahniuk.
Yeah, that's right.
Palahniuk. Thank you. Now, obviously, there's a lot of speculations that are going on. All right. Now, they say, of course, they were seen at a bar called Woody's. Also on the 13th of August, the exact same bar, Woody's. There's the other mystery apparently that has been seen in the headlines occurred where Kylan Schulte and Kristen Beck were at that same bar and were later exterminated, right? Terminated, I guess, at their campsite nearby. Before being killed, they had mentioned to someone in their family via text or phone call that a creepy man was intimidating them and stalking them at the campground. So, like I said, there's a lot of speculations. There's a lot of stories. There's a lot of questions here in regards to this whole thing. And I don't know if we're ever going to get the full answer, but I'll say this does not make any sense that if the car is hers, he was obviously driving it. He drives his ass all the way back home, which, you know, if you could do a straight beeline from Wyoming, I mean, it's more than 24 hours. Let's be real. From Wyoming to Florida, wherever he lives in Florida, that is quite a drive. All right. So he had at least a day of hardcore driving by himself, driving in solitude without Gabby. What? So then you show up with her car and say, no comment. What?
See, I have a thought, but this is kind of a guess.
This man took her life. I'm sorry. Or he got upset. He got enraged somehow and just boop. You know what I mean? Just a little shove, just a little nudge. Takes 2 seconds. That's the only theory I got. But David, go ahead, please.
I was also thinking, well, okay, first I'm going to address this because this is coming from the news. So they do think that there is some possibility that she was killed during another murder in Moab that happened. This is according to Moab police. This is not according to police investigating within the park itself. So this is a different city or a different state even. But they think that there's a possibility that with the murder of Crystal Turner and Kylan Schulte, who were found nearby, that they were killed by some man. I don't think they have any. There's no reason that I don't think they believe it's Laundrie or anything. They just think it's somebody else that killed these two women, and they're saying it's possible he killed other women. They're looking into that. I just brought that up because they're saying that. I don't know a whole lot of information about that because they just started that investigation. But my thought was, even if he didn't kill her, which is a possibility, he could have just left her there, and it's kind of the same thing if she doesn't know what she's doing. And that's why he's not, his lawyer's telling him not to speak, because that would be incriminating himself. Because if he left her and he knew that she couldn't survive out there, I mean, that's kind of the same thing as killing her. I don't know if it is
then
legally.
Why not say that? See what I'm saying? Then why not say that? If you're going out there, you drive back with her car, with her own ride, and everybody, her family, her loved ones are freaking out right now. Their love, their blood, their pride and joy is just somewhere, and they don't know where she is. And they just sit there and he just sits there and goes, no comment. He could have just said, we got into a heated argument. You know, it was a passionate argument. I got angry. I grabbed my ish. I jumped in the car and I drove off. And I've still been driving. And I didn't turn around. He could have easily said that. This whole situation could have been snuffed out with a simple few words, with a few sentences. She walked south. She walked away. She fell off a cliff. A murderous maniac attacked her, and I ran away. I got away. She froze to death. I don't know. It could be anything. I woke up. I rolled over and tried to revive her, but she's gone. So many different possibilities, right? So many different things. And this man isn't willing to cooperate. This is the person that he loves, allegedly. They were going to get married. He thought she was the one. And I understand there's a thin line between love and hate. Most definitely. All right? I get it. But you still have to come back home and answer those questions. You still have to face that family that is sitting here working tooth and nail trying to find out where she is. And all could be solved if you just sit there and say, hey, this happened. Just doesn't make any sense. It makes me think of this movie, like there's a possibility that maybe she just didn't want to, you know what I mean, go on type thing. And maybe there was some planned thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say this man's name because he, you know, obviously he's been like canceled, I guess, but it's a Kevin Spacey movie and a Laura Linney movie. I forgot the name of the movie, but damn, is it good. But the spoiler, the end says it was like a bunch of friends that planned to do this said thing to this woman, to their friend, you know, that they were doing a service for her kind of thing. I don't know. It just, to me, it just doesn't make any sense that you know, if she was to go out there and do something as terrible as like do something to herself, right? It would be weird for him to go, I promise, I'm not going to tell anybody anything, and then just leave. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. Me personally, I'd be breaking that promise real fast. I'm sorry. I'd be like, I can't let the parents just be tortured like this, you know, having these sleepless nights trying to find out where and how and what she is doing and if she's still alive. It's so weird. I don't know.
I mean, if he did kill her, so far the not speaking has kept a judge from issuing a search warrant for his house. All they've searched so far that I'm aware of, unless it's changed within the past few hours, was the vehicle he took, or that was owned by her, Gabby herself. They have not searched his house. They have not gotten a warrant for it. So, I mean, if he is guilty or if he has any evidence that he let her die through negligence, and it's in his house, I mean, this is keeping the search warrant away. So that's also a possibility. I mean, I don't really know. Like I said, it's very suspect. We don't. I mean, obviously, he's done something where he could have helped find her, but he's refusing to. So I mean,
here it is. The one thing that doesn't make any sense is why is he not a suspect? Why isn't he not being brought in to be investigated and interrogated? What's going on? What's making him? Excuse me. What is it that's allowing him to hide behind? What laws is he able to hide behind so that he doesn't have to get brought in to be interrogated about this situation? You know, like examine the car, the van that they drove, examine all of his clothes, all those things. What laws is he? What is he? what is he hiding behind? You know what I'm saying? This ain't like, excuse me, this ain't like court where he can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. I plead the 5th. It's not that. So what is it? It doesn't
My
make sense.
guess is that it's because it's 4 different states, so it's hard for any of the police to get enough authority for their own search warrant. So I think this needs to be like upgraded to a federal crime. I mean, it covers 4 states. It covers Utah, Wyoming, Florida, and New York. She's from New York, and she has records there as well. So with these 4 different states on opposite side of the countries, it really needs a federal investigation at this point for any chance of success to actually happen, I think. Because there's the police departments don't have authority over each other, too far away to even really effectively coordinate in person. So I do think this needs to be upgraded to a federal crime just because of how many jurisdictions it's crossing.
Yeah. I just, this is just aggravating me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a lot, like, this is the kind of thing where we've covered other stories, you know, mostly on the police brutality tip, where it's kind of like, well, why aren't they pressing charges on such and such? Or why haven't they released the body cam footage yet? Why are they redacting and you know, doing this, that, and the third to the body cam footage? We're only seeing 15 seconds of it and all that stuff. And it, to me, it just, I don't know. It just, like I said, just doesn't, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to me, this whole thing. And I don't see how they're literally, I don't know how this man is not locked up right now. I just don't see it. I don't know how, I don't know why they're not pressing charges like they should be or anything of that sort. But speaking of pressing charges, we have got to take a look at this body cam footage. We do have the body cam footage. I think it's important that we see this for ourselves because, like I said, there are some things that are seen in this video. Like, there's an aftermath of an altercation that happened in this van that is registered in her name that he drove back home without her. It's interesting when when somebody when this kind of thing goes down, and I'm just saying, if the situation was different, I feel like people would have gotten arrested. But it's interesting how they got away with this without any issues at all. So let's take a look at this body cam footage. It is over an hour and 17 minutes long. We are not going to watch the entirety of it. I'm just going to be kind of scrubbing through it so we can see most of the footage and see the interaction between Gabby. This is pretty much like the last encounter. This is the only footage that we have of her before she disappeared. And it shows a little bit of the explanation of why they got pulled over and all that. So without further ado, let's check it out, shall we?
You want to place your vehicle in the park and go ahead and turn it off for me? Yeah. No, park? Oh, it isn't parked yet. Okay, turn off your engine. Go ahead and set your keys on the dash for me, all right? What's your guys' names?
Gabby.
I'm Brian. Gabby, Brian? Okay. What's going on? How come you're crying?
I'm just sorry. We've just been fighting this morning. Some personal issues.
It was a long day. We were camping yesterday, and camping got the supplies and stuff. I'm sorry I hit the bump there.
I was distracting him from driving. I'm sorry.
Can I get you to step out of the vehicle for me, man?
Yeah.
Just hang tight right there. Do you mind if I take your keys and just put them on your hood?
You got it, buddy. I'm so
Thank
sorry.
you. Oh, no, you're fine.
Real quick, I'll just say that I have to say this. Number one, please be sure to hit that like button down below. I see a bunch of y'all filing in and everything. Thank you so much, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Please hit that like button. Send those likes all the way up. Let's get it past 100 likes. I'd really appreciate it. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But before we continue, isn't it funny how we all change our demeanor when we get pulled over? Notice that? You notice what you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I mean, David? It's suddenly he's like, everything's fine. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit that curb. You know what I'm saying?
Go from cussing out the cop because he turned his lights on to being super polite when he walks up.
He's like, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, yeah. Oh no, officer, no. I'm so sorry. I my bad. Yeah, you want my keys? Sure. I'm so sorry again. I wasn't thinking. No, some ish was going down in the car whilst they were driving, y'all. Let's continue.
I'm gonna go ahead and close your door, okay? Why don't you come over here? SO229. I have the female that was on the passenger seat separated from the male. Keys are on the hood. You want to tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It just some days I have really bad OCD, and I was just cleaning and straightening up the back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, "I'm sorry that I'm so mean," because sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I just get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him. I guess my vibe is like I hear him be like in a bad mood, and I was just saying, I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I've just been really stressed. I had so much work I was doing on my computer this morning.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I used to work at an organic juice bar, but I just quit my job.
Okay.
I was a nutritionist. That was my job,
cool.
and I just quit my job to travel across the country, and I'm trying to start a blog. Have a blog and stuff. So I've been building my website. So I've just been really stressed, and he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So that's kind of been like I don't know. He's like down there. I don't know. We've just been fighting all morning, and he wouldn't let me in the car before. And then
Why wouldn't he let you in the car? Because of
told
your
me
OCD?
He told me I needed to calm down. Yeah, but I'm perfectly calm. I'm calm all the time, and he really stresses me out. And this is a rough morning.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't I sit you down in the back seat of my car? You're not in any trouble, okay? I'm not going to be putting handcuffs on you. You obviously don't have any weapons. I'm going to get you into the air conditioning, let you take a breath, relax a little bit, and then I'll come back and talk to you in a few minutes, okay?
I'm sorry, I have to say this, but if this was a different situation, if you know what I'm saying, this would have ended a completely different way. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm sorry to pull that out, but it's the elephant in the room for me.
I mean, I think you're right. If she was black, she wouldn't have been allowed to walk away.
This would have been a different story.
For hitting on a guy or punching her.
You're just going to go into the car.
Yeah.
We're going to give you AC.
Because they gave him an option.
Okay. Hey, it's okay. You're not in trouble. We just need to have over here. Sit down. It's all good. It's okay. You can keep crying. It's okay. No, I'm not trying to roast her at all. You know what I'm saying? And I hope they do find her, but on some real stuff. If the shoe was on the other foot, okay? If this video was had a little bit of squish of melanin in it, I'm thinking it might be a little bit different, but she looks distraught, okay? Aside from all that, okay? Aside from race, aside from all that stuff, aside from the the realities of social injustice that does go on in this world, she does look like she's having a really bad day with her boyfriend. I'll say this though too. If you are not like, if you're having issues, right, with that loved one, why would you go on a long ass cross country road trip with the person you're having issues with? I know us in relationships and all that, we all go, oh, well, we just wanted to give him a chance. I just wanted to give him a chance, but this is an adventure. I can't wait. I'm telling you guys, 9 times out of 10, it's a bad idea. Okay. Now, real quick, Kev Z just said, what about her left arm? Or Mark S, sorry, on her left arm. No, those are all just tattoos, guys. Just so you know, it's not bruises, it's nothing like that. Because I would have picked that out fast. I was looking at her arms and just reading her body language. Obviously, she's very distraught right now. Be real. But go ahead. Go ahead, David.
I
What
was,
were you
I was
saying?
gonna say, I just wanted to point out again that at Moab, when she was punching him smacking him in the face and everything, he never defended himself there, and she attacks him again in this video, I believe, in the later half. I was kind of skipping through them, but so I think there's a second attack where she starts hitting him in this video as well.
What? Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But we're
I
gonna
think
look
it's
at
this
that.
one.
Are you sure?
Yes, yeah. I mean, because they have the witnesses from Moab, and then they have the video camera from the second time.
You know what? Okay. If that is true, we're gonna see it here. We'll be like I said, I'm gonna be hopping around through this thing. But like I said, if that's really what's going down, I don't know. I don't know, man. Because here's the thing. At the end of this, spoiler alert, she's let go. So, and they say it's a mental health situation rather than it being she's assaulting this guy. She's assaulting her ex-fiance. See, like I said, this would have been a different situation. I just said this would be a completely different situation. She would have been arrested, locked up, like gone, done, face in the dirt, hands behind her back, handcuffed, and tossed in a cell if she did assault this guy in front of the cops. But let's check it out. Let's continue.
Okay.
All righty. Like I said, come on over here. You're not in any trouble right now. So, tell me what's going on.
She just gets worked up sometimes.
Okay, hold up. I'm sorry. Did not mean to pause it again, but he said she gets worked up sometimes. But look at his face. If you can't see it, hold on. Let me see if I can.
Bloody.
Just hopefully they do a little bit of close up. But look at this. Look at the side of his face right here. Now those could be moles. They really could be, or they could be cuts from her smacking him upside the head. But let's take a look. Let's continue.
And I try and really distance myself from her, so like I locked the car and I walked away from her. What happened this morning is that she's trying to start up like her own little website blog and everything. So I give her time. And we really had a nice morning, if anything, but she just got worked up because we were trying to get going and get our day going because we want to go like Archie before the stuff like that. Okay.
You want to tell me about those scratches on your face?
She had a cell phone in her hand.
Scratches in her face. Hold on. I'm rolling back just a tad bit. Just a tad bit. Ooh, shoot. This is what I hate. This is why I hate these when these are so long. Hold on.
She just gets worked up sometimes, and I try and really distance myself from her. So like I locked the car and I walked away from her.
I'm sorry. I just want to point this out as well. Why does he sound like he is literally sounding like an abused a person who is a victim of abuse?
Is it me or is his left cheek swollen?
We go ahead, David. What were you saying?
No, I agree, but I was asking, does it look like his left cheek swollen to you, or is that just me?
Oh, no. His left cheek is his right. You're talking about his right? Because that's where all the scratches are.
Yeah, not on the side of the scratches. It just looks like his other eye looks like it's been kind of hit, but his right eye looks like it was scratched.
It doesn't look very good, but but the way, like she went in on this dude. But let's continue. I'm sorry. To me, it sounds like he's like, I hate to use that word, but it sounds like he's a victim of abuse right now. And he's just basically going, oh no, but she loves me. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it like that, but he's got scratches on his face. Some of it is scabbed, by the way. You see the scratches on his face, on the side of his face. They look fresh, but they look scabbed. So she probably hit him before, like a few hours before or a day before. You see what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense here. But let's continue. Like I said, he's sounding like someone who's like a battered spouse.
What happened this morning is that she's trying to start up like her own little website blog and everything. So I give her time. And we really had a nice morning, if anything, but she just got worked up because we were trying to get going and get our day going because we want to go like Archie before the stuff like that.
Okay. You want to tell me about those scratches on your face?
She had a cell phone in her hand. That's why I was pushing her away, because she wanted I locked the keys so I could walk away. I said, let's just take a breather and let's not go anywhere. Let's just calm down for a minute. She was getting really worked up. And then she had her phone and was trying to get the keys to her. So that way I was just trying to, I know I shouldn't push, but I was just trying to push her way to go, let's just take a minute, step back and breathe. And she got me with her phone.
Can I see your hand? Oh, you got a mark right here. Oh, that's from a wire. That's from a wire? Yeah. You want to tell me about hitting that curb?
Hitting the curb was her grabbing the wheel.
She grabbed the wheel?
Yeah. She said, I can't believe we're getting pulled over. And
Hold up. Wow, there's so much to unfold in the first 6 minutes of this piece, y'all. But you hear right here, she was grabbing the wheel. This is his account. Allegedly, she was grabbing the wheel. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to say this out loud first. Early. I'm saying that I know I'm being, it's premature, but it's been a long time, and you're so pretty, and I just didn't expect it. But here it is. What are the possibilities of her being the actual an abusive person, where she puts her hands on him all the time? Let's just say in this particular situation, before she went disappearing, because obviously him guilty as hell. Okay. But outside of that, what are the possibilities of him actually dealing with an abusive person? They have an abusive personality, right? They go Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde real quick on you. They're the sweetest person in the world, but then they'll turn on you and just put their hands on you. They'll put the paws on you, right? Mm-hmm. He's a guy. Let me just say that again. I'm sorry to say it like that, but he's a guy. So what happens? Dudes deal with it a lot more often than women, obviously. Women putting their hands on men is not as frowned upon. I'm sorry, we live in that society. We live in that world. And if a man gets his hand, if a man has his woman put her hands on him, it is the most emasculating thing in the world. Let's just be real. It can be. So he's just dealing with this stuff. She's going in, swinging and all that. He's going, okay, I'm locking the door. I'm locking you in the car and walking away. He's doing everything he can to stay safe, of course, be respectful to her without throwing the paws back. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, here's my theory. I'm saying this real quick, and I'll throw it over to you, David. Hold on. My theory is that there was another altercation that happened while they were hiking. And maybe he was protecting himself. Maybe. Or maybe he had enough shoved back and she went tumbling down. That's my theory. David.
Yeah, I think that's definitely possible. And I mean, we don't have a ton of video on everything, but like I said, there were multiple witnesses at Moab. And I guess I should explain. Moab is basically a recreational region. You go there for, it's only like an hour and a half away from here. I really like the place for mountain biking, but people go there for off-roading and vehicles as well as like ATVs and stuff. It's basically a recreation area. So this is where the witnesses were when they saw her. And like he was trying to get away during that one assault that they saw. She chased him into the van, or like until he was backed up into the van. And that's when she started beating him in that incident. So we only have that one incident of multiple witnesses at Moab. And then we only have this incident here to really get a good gauge by. But yeah, so as far as previous incidences go, all we know for sure is that she beat him and he didn't beat her back in public.
Yeah. Like he didn't swing back in public. Yes. He's just sitting there just kind of doing this kind of thing, of course, just protecting himself and everything. He's driving a vehicle you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He's got both of their lives, precious lives, in the car whilst driving down a highway, and she's just throwing bows on him because she's OCD, because she has, which they say later on, anxiety. But let's continue. We only got 6 minutes into this bitch. There's so much to unfold. This is really bad, but it shows that this is an abusive relationship. And there is a reason why. There is some history. You can hear it in his voice. There is history between them in a history. There has been a history of violence between both of them. Period. I can totally understand why they're ex-fiancés now. Let's go.
What about the speed? Did she take over the?
I
over the pedal on you?
If I was going fast, I'm sorry. No, it's probably just the moment of like, I'm still shaking now. The adrenaline, seeing the lights flashing up, and then her gripping the wheel. So if I sped up, I'm sorry about that. Or if I was speeding beforehand, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it took quite a bit to catch up to you. So,
yeah. I'm sorry about that. We're just going into the park again to get water because we have a 6-gallon water container to fill up. So we're just grabbing water for the hike. Okay. And I was trying to keep everything calm and quiet because there's plans still to go for a hike. But I'm really sorry about that.
Of course. Do me a favor. You want to go ahead and just take a seat right over here on the curb for me?
And if I was speeding, I'm sorry. I apologize.
You don't have anything in the pocket or anything like that, do you?
Nope.
Just the wallet? All right. And then, do you mind lifting your shirt so I can check the waistband? Turn around for me real quick. Perfect.
Nothing.
I just want to make sure. That's all, man. Go ahead, do me a favor, take a seat, all right? Woo! Oh, do you have your ID on you?
In the car, if you want to come with me.
No, we'll just do this. Just go ahead and take a seat.
You come with me, I'll give it to you.
Oh, you're fine. What's your first name?
Brian.
Brian? Is that layman spelling?
B-R-I-N, yeah, and L-A-U-N.
And then your last name?
L-A-U-N.
Sound good? All right, just hang tight for me. SO229. I need a 29 name and date of birth.
I hate when this happens. Dag nabbit. Come on.
First name Brian, layman spellings. Last name Laundrie. Lima Alpha Uniform November Delta Romeo India.
Come on.
Where'd you hit him? You slapped him first? It's on his face? How many times did you slap?
Bravo Romeo India Alpha November.
And then what? His reaction was to do what?
It's gonna be out of Florida.
He just grabbed you? Did he hit you though? I mean, it's okay if you're saying you hit him. I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth. If he actually hit you, because where did he hit you? Don't worry. Be honest. You slapped your face or what?
Grab the face. So he grabbed the face.
Go ahead.
Okay. So has he been drinking?
No, we don't.
Okay. What was up with his driving? This officer said he hit a curb.
I
While you're driving?
well,
While he was driving, you were hitting him?
Come on.
Did you already tell him all this?
I didn't get that far into
Okay,
it. She
so
was hyperventilating
She's
a little
saying
bit.
that they don't drink, but at the point when you lit them up,
You don't drink or anything.
She started hitting him.
Yeah, I was yelling at him, and then when you turned your lights on, I kind of punched his arm like this.
that she's saying was like,
So she just straight up. So the lights went on. The cop, the blue and whites came on, and she just straight up punched him in the face. You're catching that, guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she got mad at him because of the cops pulling them over. So she punched him in the face, y'all. For real, though. What? Okay.
hit the curb. You said it was Gabby? Yeah. I'm sorry, I remember that. It was Gabby? Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, all this time is being spent. I don't know. Like I said,
Try to meditate stuff, but you tend to have a lot of anxiety and stress.
I have a lot of anxiety.
And what's his name? Is it Brian? Is he usually pretty patient with you?
Yeah,
10-4, thank you.
but it just makes me upset. I know that he definitely gets frustrated with me a lot.
A lot of this stuff is being, I'm sure that they're putting out, has been redacted because of, I'm sure it's personal information that's coming through this. But they're literally sitting there and having Dr. Phil, a Dr. Phil moment with this girl, straight up. So, honey, tell me what happened. Like, it's like, what? Okay, like I said, if this was a different situation, you feel me? This would have ended a completely different way, and this conversation would not be this long. I'm going to try to see if I can scrub up a little bit more.
Him in the arm. Did you grab the steering wheel?
No, I didn't.
You did not touch
I
the
didn't
steering
touch
wheel.
the steering wheel, but only for like a second, because I said so, the lights come on, and it was more just like, you're an idiot. Like, you know.
Wait, she just said, no, I didn't grab the steering wheel, but I did. I'm sorry. She really just did say that. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling that back because I want to make sure I'm not on crack.
Him in the arm. Did you grab the steering wheel?
No, I didn't.
You did not touch
I
the
didn't
steering
touch
wheel.
the steering wheel, but only for like a second, because I just saw the lights come on, and it was more just like, you're an idiot. Like, you know.
But did you grab the steering wheel and like
No.
swerve or anything like that?
No.
At all.
This is bad.
I'm gonna go ahead and close this door again. Do you have enough air back here, or do you want me to kick it up some more?
Do you have any water?
Are you comfortable? I'm sorry. She didn't say, do you have any water? Do you have any champagne? I'm just curious. I'm sorry. Like I said, this woman's missing, but at the same time, this is just. Oh.
I will see if I can find something.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
You wouldn't happen to have any water, would you? Can I get a bottle?
Did you already give a statement for this officer? I've got this gentleman here. Yeah. This gentleman noticed that you had some marks on your neck. And she got marks on her too. We're just trying to figure out what all happened. And I know you probably already told the story. This officer's probably going to be the one handling the whole case. You want to listen to what he has to say, and and then you tell him what happened. So if you don't mind.
Start at the beginning for me.
Start at the beginning. Well, I don't want to go too far back, but we've been in BLM land for the past week or so, traveling around, and the flies here are like pretty intense. So the flies have definitely been getting to her, and then my feet are dirty and everything. So I think that our little squabble started because we were hanging out at the coffee shop, and when we got back to the van, there was some dirt and stuff in the van, and I moved our food around. It was a little disorganized, so she gets a little.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Do you need any water?
That's okay.
It's hot out here.
We were going to get water because we ran out, but it's okay. No, it's okay. I don't like plastic bottles. It's okay. Thank you, though. But we just had a little disagreement there. And the disagreement was just that she was getting a little worked up, and I was saying, no, it's okay. Thank you so much.
It's cool. That's good.
So it was just more of a disagreement, and I just wanted to say.
What was the disagreement about?
It was. I wouldn't even call it disagreement. It was just that I'm dirty and I can't change being dirty. Like I got dirty feet, I got sand on my flip-flops and stuff like that. It was that we were at the coffee shop for so long because we were there from 9 to 3. So yeah, there's a few little things, little relationships. I don't know if you're in a relationship, but I'm sure
I've been married for over 5 years now. So.
There's a lot of little things. Right?
Yeah, I can go.
And we weren't physical before the point where I said, all right, let's just take a breather and like walk away for a minute. I'll lock the van up and I'll go for a walk this way, and you can go walk that way on the block. You know, there's that what's it called, moonflower? Right. Yeah, nice areas. You can go either way. It's all shaded. So let's go for a little walk and breather, come back. It's pretty, we're happy with it. But I'm not upset with her. She got worked up, and she had a phone in her hand and her keys and everything. And she wanted, not her keys, her rings, the phone. And I was holding on to the keys because I didn't want to go anywhere. And my big fear is, I don't have my phone. I don't have my phone. So she goes off without me. But I'm on my own. So I was saying, let's just go for a walk. And she was trying to get the keys for me. So I was just going, just wait, back up. And that's when she hit me. And I didn't get, I don't want to push you, but I didn't get overly physical. I was just trying to keep her away and not get it. And then I got really loud, and like that's probably drew everyone's attention where I was going, back up, get away, just give me a.
Okay, so you said you pushed her to create some distance, obviously, right? What happened after that? What got the scratches on your eye?
The phone.
The phone. So you push her and she hit you?
She was. It wasn't like a push and she jumped on me. She was already. I don't know. She was already swinging and I was pushing. Yeah. A lot of angles, a lot of nails, a lot of rings. Yeah.
Real quick, I want to say a big thank you to Blue True for the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Said keep it up. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
3 scratches in your neck. You got one on the left side of your neck. You got one in your face here, and you got 4 bleeding over there. So you just try to. So it looks like 2 hands coming up.
Do you mind lifting up your right sleeve for me? I'm curious about something.
Okay. It's a little bit of nails. I suppose fingernails, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about
Is it bruised or tender or anything like
that?
that?
No. Okay. I'm fine, and I look at it. I hope she doesn't have too many complaints about me. I'm just, I feel bad. I think it's so public. I was just trying to be loud. So this is, try to make her calm down and be like, look, everyone's watching. And like, stop this.
Thanks,
Going back.
I got a quick question for you, Ryan. Sure. Do you take any medications or anything like that?
And then he explains his drugs. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, do you know if she takes any?
She's crazy. No, I don't think so. No, none that I know of.
Real fast, can I get your first name?
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle, how do you spell that?
R-I-E-L.
Dagnabbit. I hate when this crap happens. Come on.
Where does he live? Georgia?
Florida. Florida, yeah, was our last test. Still get down there.
How long have you been on this trip?
4 to 5 months out. I think you're up to 5.
What was the determinants? What was the thing that trip? Moving to a new place?
We're going to Portland. So her grandmother's best friend lives in Portland, where we stayed. 2 years ago, we did a one-shot trip, which we loved. We did in Nissan Sentra, like a tiny little car. So I was like, let's do it better. And let's get a big van, not a big, tiny van. But I said, let's try and do it a little better. And it's been great so far, for sure. But you were going over to Portland, and I don't know if you're probably more familiar with it, but Wolfing, have you ever heard of that? W-W-O-O-F-I-N-G.
Yeah.
You got it.
I'm from California originally.
Oh, yeah.
So, and part of my job, I dealt with employees that were from all across the United States, and Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada.
Like, what's crazy is that they're just like chopping it up with him like this is nothing now. Of course, I'm gonna scrub through and kind of abbreviate this as much as we can, because obviously this is now them just shooting the ish and just talking with him. Like I said, so far there's no implication or no vibe like they're going to arrest him or her. There is no vibe like that going on. They're just like, right now, they're just a couple of boys having a grand old time, having a conversation on the side of the interstate. Like, that's literally what it seems like right now. So I'm going to scrub through a little bit more so we can kind of get to the meat and potatoes of this. But right now, they're sitting here going, hey, this is a nothing burger. That's literally what they're doing right now. They're going, hey, this is a whole lot of nothing. But let's continue.
Gabby, this is a very, very important question. How you answer this question is going to determine what happens next.
This is my favorite part of this whole thing. This is the piece that I saw. And it's kind of like, tread lightly when you answer this question, sweetheart. Because if you say something wrong, we might have to take you to jail. That's basically what they're saying. Tread lightly. We're on your team. Just answer it right.
But the only person who can answer this question is you. Think very hard before you answer the question. Do not quickly answer it. Think very hard. When you slapped him those times, were you attempting to cause him physical pain or physical impairment? Was that what you were attempting to do? What were you attempting to do? What was the reason behind the slapping and stuff?
What was the reason, sweetheart? You weren't trying to hurt him? No? Okay.
What was it you were attempting to accomplish by slapping?
I was trying to get him to stop telling me something.
Well, it doesn't sound to me like she attempted to injure him.
Okay, here it is. I feel bad because I'm reacting in such a way because honestly, this woman's missing, and honestly, no life should be taken like it is right now. But honestly, honest to God, are you serious? This is how it goes? If it was on the other side.
I was saying, if they arrested her for putting everyone's life in danger from grabbing the wheel, she'd probably still be somewhere where everyone knows she'd be alive, if assuming she's not alive right now.
Absolutely. That's the other thing too. You know, there was a fork in the road and she answered it right. So she didn't have to get arrested. But she answered it wrong because then she would still be here, just locked up, with a record and all that stuff. But at the same time, they literally turned to her and said, I'm going to ask you a question. And whatever you answer depends on if relies solely on if you get arrested today or not. So I'm going to ask you this question. So think about it carefully. Were you trying to hurt him? I'm sorry, there's scabs on his face. One side of his face is swollen. There's cuts on the other side of his face. She admits to grabbing the steering wheel. She admits to punching him in the car because he was getting pulled over. And she just answered, no, I'm not here to hurt him. My intentions of punching him in the face was not to hurt him. Okay, I'm sorry. We're going to continue. I'm just wrapping that. I'm trying to wrap this around all y'all's heads real quick because I'm going, how does this even work? I'm sorry. Like I said, I hate that she's gone, or allegedly she could possibly be gone. But this situation right here could have ended a completely different way if the cops weren't so lenient, if the cops weren't so nice. Here's the other thing too. You got to point out that this is the same body cam. Just so you know, this is the same cop that has been walking back and forth the entire time. All right. So I want to point something out. The boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, said, yeah, you know, she hit me, blah, blah, blah. He's playing it off like it's nothing, but he is admitting to being assaulted. He is claiming that she put her hands on him. He says to the cops that she grabbed the steering wheel. That's why the car did that thing, hit the curb and everything. Literally. While they were pulling over in front of 5-0. And yet still these cops walk all the way over to this girl who right now is missing and ask her, were you trying to hurt him? Mind you, the next question, the next answer that comes out of your mouth could or could not get you arrested. So I'm just letting you know. You got a fork in the road, sweetheart. You can go right or left. Which one do you want to go down? Like what?
Just as a future reference, if I punch someone in the face, it's intended to hurt them because that's the only reason you would punch somebody in the face.
Look at the brain on David. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Okay, like I said, not trying to be rude about Gabby and the fact that she has disappeared. But there's a history of violence between these two people. A history. And these cops have decided to let her go. And yes, I know I see a lot of guys going, a lot of y'all in the chat going, oh, the crying face and all that. I mean, you know, I'm sure she's terrified. I'm sure she's nervous. He's nervous too, because he doesn't want to get locked up either. You know what I'm saying? She obviously feels, I'm assuming she feels bad for getting caught, not for what she did. I'm just going to say that. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm going to speak truth where truth is being shown. She's not sad about the assault. She's sad about possibly going and getting arrested. That's the issue here. And the fact that they gave her the out, she's going to go back in that car and the issue is going to continue. There's obviously a history of violence between the two. Doesn't mean that I'm not turning and saying that Brian is the innocent here. He could be putting his hands on her in a violent way too. She said in the car, he's grabbing my face and all that. That's not great. That's not a good move, fellas. Don't do that to your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? You just don't do that. All right. So I'm not throwing Brian a bone here. He's in the wrong too. But she was the one who allegedly instigated the violence in this particular situation. And she's going to walk out scot for the Z.
It's your call. This is 100% your call. I support you either way. I'll let you get back to your own parents, okay?
She openly admitted to me earlier that she was striking him in the arm. Or he said that she was striking him in the arm. He said she was, and that's what caused him to hit the code. She said that she got hurt. I might have these two mixed up, probably.
No, she said that too, but she started distracting him by hitting him, and then he probably looked at her, and that's why the mark found when he saw. And she said it was her fault because she was distracting him by hitting him. But she said she didn't try to hurt him, it wasn't malicious. She thought that he wasn't listening to her.
So assault is an attempt with unlawful force or violence to do bodily injury to another. The code for bodily injury, the definition says, bodily injury is infliction of pain or physical impairment or illness. So you can go this now. I'm recording, and society and the judges and everyone can judge me for this. I am looking at a 110-pound female and her fiance who have no means to be separated. He doesn't want to pursue it. She's not a threat to him.
She is not a threat to him. Okay. Because she's 110 pounds.
Slight abrasions from her fingernails. I don't care if we use the actual letter of the law to not charge. But I also don't care because it literally does possibly make perfect sense to go full-on domestic assault and do the whole thing. This is your opportunity to make the decision.
I don't know why that's redacted, but we'll find. I'm sure it's something else. But
he's telling them what they can decide to do here, so we're not allowed to hear it.
I'm sure. But isn't that crazy? This is some crazy ish. There's doesn't matter. A 110-pound woman can be just as dangerous as a 140-pound man. It doesn't matter. If they have intent on putting harm on somebody's body, they're a threat. You could be 85 pounds wet. I don't give a damn. You got these. Some people, these are lethal weapons. It doesn't matter. Never underestimate the power of passion and rage, guys. And yet he's sitting there going, oh, she's just a little woman. Doesn't matter. Look at his face. They're still talking, and it's redacted. Okay.
Go ahead.
Stupid.
You got this? I'm making this decision. I'm going to side him. I'm going to go all through the first. Would you feel more comfortable handling that guy? Yeah. Go handle that guy. Go handle that guy. If you're more comfortable. Well, it's 6 one way, half dozen the other. It's up to you. I mean, it's a headache whether I go left or it's a headache whether I go right. Another option is to not charge him but separate him for the night.
Now they don't want to work is what it is.
Did you hear that? That's why I paused it. Your brain is amazing, David. Let me just tell you how much I love you. You know what I'm saying? He's so smart. Let me just say something, y'all. I don't these guys literally it's work if I go this way, it's work if I go that way. So now it's a matter of paperwork. It's a matter of desk work. This crap I gotta do. Damn. Seriously. Now they're talking about that. So the benefit of their safety could have changed. Gabby's safety could have changed if he was just cool with doing the paperwork. Then this cop right here says, well, you could just separate them for the day. You could just make sure they can separate. Then you don't have to do any paperwork, buddy. Let's find out what he does.
If they find themselves together again, what is it to you? You separate them. You provided for his safety. If he doesn't have enough sense to stay away and you got him separated, it's on him.
We can't babysit him all night because we put our kids, so it's up to them.
You can separate him and say, don't let it go off till tomorrow. If they don't let it go off and we hear about it, we'll hear about it.
We're camping in the park tonight. We'll let you know.
And if there's some fighting going on, you already was Mr. Nice Guy. You already gave him a chance. What you can't do by law is separate someone and say, if we hear from you again, we're going to arrest them. Because then if one of them really needs help, they may not call police and get help. The law says you cannot, literally, you may not say, if we get more problems with you guys tonight, one of you is going to, you can't threaten like that. Right. It's true because it stops you from wanting to call the police to get help. Does that make sense? Right. So go full or nothing or in between and separate them and kind of give them the nod, the wink, like, hey, just stay separated. It's up to you. I'm going to go handle that. You got very capable help with you here, and I trust you.
That cop seems so just annoyed. He's just so exhausted. He's like, I don't care. Just do something. I'm going to go over here, though. I'm going to deal with this issue over here. Just figure something out, man. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? She 110 pounds. She ain't dangerous. It's going to be fine. Just separate them. And you don't have to do any paperwork, okay? Just make a decision so we can keep it moving, okay? I got some donuts to go eat. Yes, I said it. I'm sorry.
I will. Alrighty, man. So we're still going to be going through. I do need some things from you, though. Do you mind if I get a picture of your driver's license?
Yeah. I was thinking it was in parts like that. This is me.
Uh-oh.
I know this man has hair.
You said that this is still your mailing address, right? Mm-hmm. This is the right way.
Okay. They go back over to her.
All right. Gabrielle.
Always new premium 100%. I hate when they do that. Dagnabbit. Don't you hate it when you stand by the side of the building? Okay.
Your phone number.
Of course, her information, her number, all that stuff. That makes sense.
It should just be in like Zion bed.
Okay, do you have any problems with me taking a picture of it? I have to have IDs and stuff like that for my investigation. Here. So, this is what I'm going to do. I've decided I am not going to cite you for domestic violence battery, okay? It was only going to be a Class B misdemeanor. However, the domestic violence portion of it enhances it. Makes life a major pain in the butt, especially you're 22, right? So I'm choosing not to cite you today. So you are not going to be charged with it. All right? But this is what I do have to do. I am separating the two of you tonight. Okay? I want you guys both to be tonight away from each other, relax, breathe, crying, because there's no reason to be crying now, okay? This is...
You're leaving. You're getting out scot-free. So there's no reason for you to cry. I'm sorry. Take a sigh of relief and realize that you ain't about to get in them shackles and get thrown in the jail cell for domestic violence, for assault, for any of them things.
I understand that this can feel like it's a nightmare, but you're coming out as the golden flower on top of it, okay? So, you're going to be taking the van tonight, and you're going to go somewhere else. I am going to get him lined up for the hotel room tonight. I want you guys to stay away from each other. For both of you guys' sake. From what you told me and what he told me, you guys have a bunch of little things that are building up, and finally the little string that you guys were tight walking on the road tonight. Does that sound about right? So, I just want everybody to breathe, get a chance away from each other, go eat a meal, talk to your parents, whatever it is you got to do.
In here?
Just told you so. So, like I said, that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. Hold on. This is Officer Robbins. Oh. Perfect. Person. So, because I literally had to Google it. So, perfect. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate your time. All right. So, I've got him a hotel room tonight. So, here in just a minute, I have to keep you guys separated for right now.
He got him a hotel, y'all. He got them hotel rooms. This is the nicest cop in the world. Hotel room. Yeah, Leslie K. They got him a hotel room. Not a motel, a Holiday Inn, a hotel. Yeah. They getting the hookup. I'm surprised they're not getting like a motorcade. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying? Escorted down the road like they're the president or something. So he hooked them up with a hotel. I just don't know what else to say here. I mean, there's more. We're going through it. But real talk. Real bloody talk. I'm gonna be real. I feel like this is the one moment where her privilege backfired. Yeah, she got away with it. They're getting a hotel room right now. But she's not here anymore, allegedly. She's gone. But go ahead, Dave.
I found the information about the fight right before this. There isn't a video. I thought there was, but unfortunately, it's only witnesses. But what they have from that, this is why they were looking for the pair. So around 4:30 at Moab, near one of the convenience stores. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of actual town there. It's kind of a tourist area. But they got a call that a male and female had engaged in some sort of altercation. And then witnesses had reported to them that they saw a male identified as Brian Laundrie and the female, who was Gabby Petito, arguing over a phone. And then Brian got into the van. It looked like he locked the door to keep her away from him, and she climbed through the window, hitting him. And
Pause. Hold up. Pause. So he locked the door to the place, and she climbed through the. Sorry, say again. What?
To the van. Yeah.
And she climbed through the window,
hitting him at the same time. Yes, it was according to the witnesses at the convenience store.
Imagine that being the fly on that wall, seeing that kind of ish. This 110-pound, not violent, no threat to anybody, according to these cops, jumping through a window to keep beating the boyfriend's ass. I'm sorry, just think about that visual. But she's okay.
And people at the scene said that he was trying to get away to end the violence. So I guess he was gesturing to get away from her, which makes sense. He locked the door, but then she climbed in. But this is what caused them to notify the police, I guess. But they didn't pull them over because of this. It just ended up being the same people once they pulled them over because of the almost running off the road thing or hitting the curb, whatever it was specifically. It sounds like they were traveling for about 5 months in the van life until that point. So they were living in their van. This isn't too unusual in areas like this. There's a lot of open space. You can just go wherever you want.
Right.
But so it sounds like that's what they were doing. They were just in that van for 5 months, traveling around the West and areas like that, and living inside of the van, or in tents near the van. It's pretty common in these areas. So that sounds like what they were doing this whole time. That's why they probably didn't have a whole lot of materials with them, like property.
Unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, that van life type thing. And, there's a lot of people that do that, right? They'll go and, go off the grid basically and just travel all over the country and all that. But we're going to continue on that conversation here in a little bit. I want to get through this piece and then we'll jump into the other things. And I would love to open up the phone lines for a quick second so we can chop it up here from the fam, because I see a lot of y'all tuning in. But let's finish this body cam footage. This is ridiculous, y'all. But like I said again, this is where privilege is fully backfiring, because if her privilege did not work out in this situation, she'd still be here. She would have been locked up. She would have been sent home or something. You see what I'm saying? She could still possibly be alive. I don't know. I feel like this cop had the hots for her, but that's just me. That's just my.
Yes, that's what people in chat were saying too. I think I see it.
Like he got that vibe, like he's trying, like not sitting here saying that he's throwing game, but he kind of has a soft spot for her a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess he thinks she looks aesthetically right in his personal opinion. I don't know, but it definitely gives me a vibe like he got the hots for her. But let's see if he shoots his shot. I doubt he does, but let's go.
Don't contact each other. Don't wave at him. Okay? Do you want me to say anything to him? Because I can do that for you. You want me to let him know that you love him and that you'll see him tomorrow and stuff like that? I can do that for you. Oh, he's bad about that too? Yeah. Okay, I'll make sure that he has a phone charger with him, okay? And if I have anything else, please keep your cell phone on so I can call you if I have any questions. All right? Okay. All right. So just kind of sit tight for me real fast, and I'm going to talk to you right now. All right, Brian. A couple things. Couple things. One, I got your hotel room tonight.
Thank you. It's getting outside. So I like the outside.
Number two, and this is probably the biggest one. She claims that she did not have intent to hurt you when she was slapping at you. So technically speaking, it does not fit the letter of the code. So I am not going to be charging her with DV. Exactly. So this is what I am going to do, however. I'm not going to release you guys together. I want you guys to stay away from each other tonight. Okay? She's agreed to it. Take some time to yourselves. You guys both have the exact same story as to what led up to the incident. So, taking some time tonight, specifically, taking tonight away from each other is going to be the major breaker in all of this. I think that'll help you guys, especially tomorrow when you guys meet up. So she does have a couple of messages for you. One, she said she loved you. She's looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Two, don't forget a cell phone charger.
Yeah, good. He watched me fumble around the entire 3 laps around the car to find one.
Yeah, find one. Okay. The other thing is I don't want you guys to contact each other.
No,
okay. Unless
when he said that she gonna text me or whatever, I was gonna send her a message. Say, please don't message me, but I love you. But yeah,
but tonight,
don't do anything. Yeah.
Full on Dr. Phil.
Alrighty, Gabrielle, you want to step out for me? As you can see, I have keys in my hand, which is good. Okay. So, something that I do that I emphasize to him, and I don't know if I emphasize to you or not. Don't text each other tonight. He wants to pass on the same message you passed to him. He's really looking forward to talking to you again. But I told him and you, unless there's earth-shattering emergency news, don't text tonight, okay? Even with the good nights, I love you. He's saying good night now. He's saying he loves you now, and you guys can talk tomorrow morning, okay? He's going to go to the hotel. I'm going to give you the keys to the van. And we'll go home. All righty? So here's that. I'm giving him a ride over to the hotel, okay? So everything's going to be okay.
Will it be a far drive for me to get him in the morning? I'm just curious.
I'm not going to tell you where he's going to be at tonight.
I know.
Like I said, I want you guys to be separated. But I can tell you this.
I just don't usually drive the van, so I just want to make sure it's not like far away.
No. It's
okay.
It's basically from here to Moonflower. Okay. It's not far at all. So let's get you in the van. Let's get you on your way. All righty. You want that Gatorade, by the way?
Okay.
You got enough water?
Yeah, man. He's trying
Also,
to get there.
something I want you to know. Here, stand over here real fast for me. If you go over to City Market, they have a list of places where you can get yourself a shower for like $4 or $5, something like that. They're pretty cheap. A place where you can shower, decompress, de-stress a little bit. Alrighty.
Yeah, I just showered yesterday at one of those.
Well, you didn't have today happen yesterday, so it does my wife wonders. When she gets stressed out, it's like, get in the shower. Come on,
It does
get in the
sound
shower.
really relaxing.
Go take a shower, relax, take some time for yourself. And like I said, don't text each other tonight. Text each other tomorrow morning after your eyes open up and you're fully awake at the top of your morning routine, okay? All right, Gabrielle. You have a good night, okay?
Thank you.
All right, all right. You ready for a ride?
And the fist bump to boot. And then they get in the car and he drives off. I mean, there's like 12 more minutes of them, talking in the car, but I think we got it. All right. We got it. We got the gist of it. There you have it, y'all. The body cam footage showing the last time they saw Gabby Petito before she went missing. Is right here.
And witnesses did suggest that they entered the park together. So there's no video of it, but we do have reason to believe they entered the area together before she disappeared, I mean.
There's a lot of speculations hopping around. I've been seeing other things on Twitter showing a body that was laying on the ground because there's a photo of her out in the wilderness wearing the exact same type of outfit, but then she's laying on the ground and these people are taking a photo, like a selfie, but there's the same kind of outfit with her like laying on the ground, you know what I'm saying, by this cliff type of thing. There's a lot of speculations about what is going on and what actually happened. But here it is, y'all. Let's be straight funky. This is a full sign of a toxic relationship that may have gone completely awry. Let's be real. A toxic relationship that just went south fast. And there's so many theories now because you see that she has been throwing her fists, hitting him and all that, wanting to cause him harm. I'm sorry. When you throw, like if I were in the same room with David, right? And we're chilling, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just throw a fist in his face. In that intent to hurt this person? In that intent to hurt David? You feel me? That's the intent to hurt a person, not, no, it was, what? No, that doesn't make sense to me, y'all. It doesn't make any sense to me. Now, this is a situation, like I said, and I'll say it again, this is where privilege, and I saw somebody else comment this too, which I do kind of agree a little bit on too, leaning on the mental health tip as well, backfired, where they just said, oh, this was a mental health issue. This was a mental health thing. We're just going to we're going to separate them for the night, and everything's going to be fine. And yet now they reunited, obviously, after that night away from each other, and now she's gone. Now the boyfriend, Brian, you can see it right here on how he is trying to talk about the situation that has happened. And he's downplaying everything. Oh no, she gets a little heated sometimes, and these things happen, and nah. So how do you think he's going to act when he gets back home if she's gone missing? Or if he's done something, just committed some heinous crime? What do you think is going to happen? He's going to sit there and plead the fifth. He's going to sit there and not say anything. We all know this is a bad, toxic relationship from the jump. As soon as you saw him get out of the car, which I'm really, really happy that we all got to see this together as a family, because on some real ish, it shows all types of red flags, y'all. And then, see, this is the thing. And of course, I'm just saying this now, all right? Because it doesn't matter. No matter what, her life being lost, possibly, is wrong. Absolutely 110% wrong. But when you see this kind of footage, and they get pulled over, and she's crying like crazy, and they sit there and go, oh, no, I feel so... The cops are just suddenly, plugging at the heartstrings, bing, 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 because they feel so bad for her, because she's so emotional. And yet they could have easily just made the decision. They could have easily made the decision to arrest her, press charges on her. But because they just took the guy's word for it, yet he has scratches and bruises all over his face. They took his word for it, and they went and said, you're going to go, okay, we're about to ask you a question. And if you don't answer it right, you are going to get arrested. So answer this correctly. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. She could have still been alive right now. Mm-hmm. If she answered that the right way, or if that cop made the right decision, which is arrest her. Because obviously there's a history of violence. David.
Yeah. And some people were asking if there were any witnesses of them in the forest. So as far as I know, there's only the claim that witnesses saw them before they entered. If it's it sounds like they were in a wilderness region. They didn't give the coordinates, obviously, because he's not talking to the police. But so generally for wilderness areas like this, there aren't that many permanent hard campsites. You're not supposed to leave any trace whatsoever behind. So it's rare to see people in these locations unless you go out of your way to find them. So it's very likely there were no witnesses once they were inside. Mm-mm. But there could be theoretically, but very likely that we won't find anyone that saw them there.
What aggravates me more than anything in the world is that when it comes to violence in general, right? When it comes to domestic violence, there's domestic disputes between men and women. Okay. I'm just speaking on the heterosexual world for a second. When a man hits a woman, they're snatched up quick. That last snap was very dusty, but I'm going to snap again. Just like that, they are snatched up. How dare you put your hand on a woman? By the way, don't ever put your hand on a woman, period. But women, ladies, my lovelies, you don't put your hands on men either. But what's sad is that we live in this world where this situation would have turned out differently if it was her with the cuts on the face, and him trying to grab the steering wheel. He would have been locked up without even thinking twice. He would have been gone. And then she would still be, of course, be able to be alive. But the double standard is real, y'all. And then, of course, he plays it down like it's nothing, because he doesn't want to seem emasculated, because it is, I'm sorry to say this, y'all, but it is emasculating when a woman hits a man and the man can't even do anything about it. He's just getting his ass beat. It is. Society-wise, it's frowned upon, but it's not looked in a way of, no, woman, put your hands down. What you're doing is assault, and you're domestically abusing this man. You're abusing your husband or your spouse, your loved one. It's wrong. But we live in a society where it's like, oh, she's just crazy. Nudge, nudge, fist bump. No big deal. Go on your merry little way. Just cool off for the night. Like I said, if the shoe was on the other foot, I'm just saying it as far as the sex, as far as gender, that man would have been locked up so bloody fast. The double standard is real here, y'all. And like I said, if that cop made the right decision, he made the wrong decision, in my personal opinion. If he made the right decision, this girl could possibly still be, she wouldn't be missing. Let's just say that, okay? Because this is us assuming that she is no longer with us on this planet. There's many things that could have happened. We do not know. But the StreamYard link is up above, pinned to the top. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. A quick little speak on it segment. So please click on that. Let's talk about this, y'all. Like I said, I hate to hear this girl being gone or missing, period. Doesn't matter the sex, gender, race. It does not matter. What's terrible is that she is gone and she is missing right now. But at the same time, those cops had plenty of opportunities to do the right thing, but they did all that, and he made that decision because he didn't want to do the what? The paperwork, y'all. He didn't want to do the desk work. All right. We do have somebody on. RR Realized TV is in the house. What's up? What's up, man? You are okay.
How y'all doing, family?
Chilling, man. Where you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Michigan.
What's up, Michigan?
Yeah, the glove stand up.
Aura. So what's on your mind, man?
I was just thinking about what you were saying, my brother, and I see a lot of this going on, and a lot of people are not addressing it. So I first of all, let me give my salute to you and to the brother. You know what I'm saying? Salute to y'all, man, for just standing up and saying something about it, because a lot of this stuff ain't even talked about, And at the end of the day, if we don't speak up, I don't believe anybody will talk about it. So I just wanted to really just come up here and give you your flowers, bro. That's all.
Oh, wow, man. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Many things. This is a
look.
Tough,
I'll sit up here with y'all. Let's go. You
know what I'm saying? This is a tough one, man. Because like I said, if the situation was different and somebody just came in and said, "Oh, here you go, blaming the cops," how original. I ain't trying to blame the cops. I'm just saying that there was an opportunity for the cops to make the right decision in the situation, and they decided not to go down that route. That's it. I ain't trying to blame no cops. I mean, here it is. Fate is fate, and the journey that she's supposed to be on is on that journey. But at the same time, if she is as violent as they say that, as the boyfriend says she is in the video, then she was making this thing happen for herself. This is the bed that she was making. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that this is a justified thing. Never. But when you start putting out bad things towards people, anything's possible.
When are we gonna question everything? Like I'm so tired of the mainstream media just questioning one side. Like, when are we gonna question everything? Like, I mean, come on, y'all. We are people. We are very, very smart. Okay. When are we gonna stop letting people paint a narrative for us and say, you know what? I'm gonna think of it for myself. And whatever I feel, I'm just gonna feel that way. And I'm not gonna let nobody change that, y'all. We have to get back to being people first. Why are we just drones? I swear we're just drones, man.
Yeah.
Stop playing.
There's a lot of, I mean, regardless, when we just look at the body cam footage, it's not great. All right. And it speaks on so many different levels other than just the fact that this woman is missing right now. It speaks on so many different levels on how she was being treated and all that.
Dude, when they let her go, that was the I was like, Pascal, I'm not trying to cut you off, bro. I don't mean to cut your wisdom. But when they let her go, I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, come on, like, bro, listen, at least put her in protective custody or something. Have a cop follow her. What, like, Pascal, is that where we are in this country now, bro? Like, I'm sorry. Is that where we are, y'all?
You know,
where? Go ahead. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Where what? Finish the question. I'm sorry. I thought. Go ahead.
Is that where we are as far as when somebody tells you, or they feel like, or you even see that they're in danger? Why would you let them go?
See, that's the thing. It's a thing of the guy was playing it off like, oh no, she just gets like this. He has a big old smile on his face. She just gets like this. Blah blah blah. He has cuts on his face. He has bruises, all that. He lifted up his shirt, showed that he had nail marks on his arm, but he's playing it off because he's a G. I'm sorry, but let's keep it real, because it is emasculating when a man is being beaten up by the woman. It's emasculating, absolutely. Okay, but of course, in front of the guys, he's going to play it off like, oh, it's nothing. It's not the nails that bother me. Ha ha ha. Okay, so then. It's so frustrating to me because the cops had an opportunity to do the right thing, to go down the right road, and they did not go down that right road. Now she is missing. She shouldn't be missing, period. Okay? But if they pause that or stop that, that could have caused her to go back home to her parents. Then this situation would not have happened. Her missing would not exist. Nothing would have would have built up to a head. You know what I mean? To that big climactic moment where he just, let me just say, allegedly, obviously I'm just painting these ideas in my head, of course, where he just had enough. And she was just swinging at him and all that stuff. And then next thing you know, he just, boop, just a little nudge on the side of a cliff. She could be, you see what I'm saying? The possibilities are endless. But Mike, you in the house? What's up, my brother? What are your thoughts?
Never know.
Right. Mike, what are your thoughts on this whole situation, man? Oh, you're muted, bruh. Make sure your mic is connected. But while he's figuring that out.
There we go.
Okay.
Is that better? Yeah.
Mike, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, so something that I kind of noticed and I didn't know at all was that she was being abusive towards him. I've been seeing this story pop up from the New York Post and even like the local Atlanta Fox News. and they're just talking about, you know, her family and how they're scared. And, you know, if you watched any murder documentaries or anything, the first person of interest is the boyfriend or the husband.
Always. It always is. And then in this particular one, I don't mean to interrupt you, Mike. I'm
No,
so
go
sorry.
ahead.
But he is the number one person. He's the number one suspect. And he's still, he's not helping them. He's not being arrested. There are no charges filed against him. Nothing. He's chilling at home, having a grand old. Well, he's not probably not having a grand old time, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's still smelling free. He's still breathing in freedom air
Hey,
right now.
Pascal, you know the craziest part is nobody over there is showing up at his house and saying, we demand that this person be taken care of.
Absolutely.
Hold on, I didn't mean to say that. Cause see, look, I'm just being real. No one from that side is showing up in droves in front of this man's house and saying he needs to be arrested. Why is that not happening, Pascal?
You mean the community?
You know what I mean.
I know
exactly what I mean.
You're right. You ain't wrong. Oh, I mean, here it is. I'll say this. This is something that's just happened to become a story as of recently. People are looking this story up. People are doing their research now. People are talking about this like crazy now. I do think that his home, I'm sure somebody's going to dox him. His information is going to be out here. And there's going to be people outside his home demanding the information, demanding that he comes out and speaks. It's just that people are just now catching wind of this. You know, it's like any of these other, like I caught wind of this last night. And then this morning, I saw that the body cam footage had just come out. I was like, bruh, okay, we got to talk about this. But like I said, this is something that's just been slowly building. And now I think that, shoot, I wouldn't be surprised by that by this weekend, people are outside his front lawn just protesting and demanding that he come out and talk and speak his facts and speak what has happened. You see what I'm saying? David, what are your thoughts on this real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I do expect excuse me. I do expect more people to come down on him now that the story is getting out more. I mean, I had heard about it last night as well, but this is the first time anyone has video evidence or is anyone's even really seeing their faces. So I do think we'll see a lot more coming out of this soon. But at the same time, I mean, it might not get as much pressure as we would normally expect from a situation like this, just because of depending on how this is introduced to the people. Like if the abuse is introduced first before her missing is introduced, people might not care as much. But if they introduce her missing first and then just kind of slide in the fact that there was an abusive relationship, I think more people would probably start harassing him. It's really going to be down to how the media portrays this now that they have more information.
Yeah, it definitely depends on what the media does, how they present it. But at the same time, it also depends on how the social media does it too and how they put it out here. Yeah, you know, I know that there's a lot of people that'll sit there and go, oh, you know, interesting how they, you know, the media will go crazy over some missing white girl, which, by the way.
Well, Pascal, I think it's on us to really just put out the information, really, you know. Absolutely. And that's what I love you for doing. You just put out the information, man. Like at the end of the day, just put out the information, you know. And that's what I really respect about you, brother. Thank you.
No, anytime. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Leonard Roy is in the house. What's up, man? How you doing, my brother?
Oh, I'm good. I may have a take on it that people will not appreciate, but
come on with it.
It is what it is.
We're all about that. Let's go.
If she, and I'm speaking in if mode because I wasn't there to see nothing. If she was a violent individual being violent towards that man, and she happened to do like Scarlett O'Hara when Rhett Butler said, I hope you have an accident, and she took a swing and missed and fell off a cliff, hey, throw mama from the train. For real. Just like that doggone guy Bergdahl that was over there in Afghanistan that left his post. When we got over there, Sergeant Major was like, we ain't gonna look for him. He left on his own. It is what it is. I'm you know, I got that military mentality. It is what it is. I'm not gonna sit here, and crocodile tears and the this and the that. No, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So I mean, if she was being violent and they got into it and she went off a cliff, not saying that she did, because right now everybody's being all, you know, well, she's missing right now, and it's nothing more than that. Nobody really knows. But one thing I do know is when all this is over and done, somebody ain't gonna be putting their hands on somebody else no more. I know that to be a fact when this is over and done. You keep your hands to your damn self. That's what you do.
Facts.
You keep your hands to yourself. Don't think because you's a female.
Hey, my mama
they
taught
won't
me
throw
you
mama off the
keep
train.
your hands to yourself. Everybody,
You keep
listen.
your hands to yourself.
If you raised by a smart person, they'll tell you don't touch nobody. You won't be touched.
Exactly.
Facts.
Hey,
And Mom used to say, don't give a lick, don't
sticks
pass
and
a lick
stones
if
may
you
break
can't
my
take a lick.
bones, but words will never hurt me. Sticks and stones but words will never hurt me. My mother taught me that. Yo, don't put your hands on nobody.
You know
If you listen, if you gonna hit somebody, don't think they not gonna knock your ass out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, one of my neighbors fell on through. You know how us old cats do, because I'm 60. He up there, that is. And he's sitting here like, to keep your hands to your damn self.
That's what they do.
There you go.
They like that.
You keep your hands to yourself and you don't have them problems.
That is true. That is true. Like I said, like we've been saying, if there wasn't any violence in the very beginning, we wouldn't even be in this situation. We wouldn't even be covering this story right now. Let's keep it straight funky. That is true. But
Because even on Fox News, they got an 800 number down here now.
Wow.
800-225-5324.
You know what I'm impressed
They got an update they giving right now. Got
That's
a
crazy.
Gabby Petito 800
Hey,
number.
brother, what city you in?
That's crazy.
I'm in Georgia.
You in Georgia? Okay.
Yeah, I'm watching Fox.
Maybe we need to bug them on that a little bit. I'm just saying.
I'm watching
Maybe we need to bug them on that a little bit.
So real quick, guys, real quick, Nat A's in the house. How you doing, Nat?
Hey.
And before I throw it over to Nat A, please, guys, hit that like button down below. Do me that favor. Hit that like button down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We working hard out here in these streets. Okay, we got a full fam. But before I throw it to Nat A, David.
Pascal, I got to be heading out here now.
Okay, man. Hey, thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate you, man. Love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.
Take care, everyone.
All right, man. Peace. Nat A, what are your thoughts on this, real quick?
Oh, Lord have mercy. You know.
Yes. Lord have mercy. Lord
in a way, I'm kind of with Leonard, because my thing is, women today, you know, you got some women that think they can just throw hands with a man and not suffer the repercussions of that, whatever the case may be. Now, if she was being abusive to him or vice versa, you know, my thing is, I don't condone any man hitting a woman whatsoever. But also, I feel like if a woman is man enough to put her hands up to hit a man, hey, she is on. And that's just how I feel. But like I said, I don't condone any man hitting a woman, and a woman should definitely not be hitting a man.
I feel you on that 100%. So is Kane learning how to yodel? I'm just curious. Is Kane learning how to yodel? I'm just, you know, it's all good. I'm just playing. I'm playing. I love you, Matt. But I do. Well, here it is. I do think that there should never be like any type of violence between men and women. Period. And I understand that if you have to protect yourself, maybe I'm a little old school with that. Yeah, I guess Kane is literally learning how to yodel right now. Yodel-hee-hoo. But when it comes to this situation, I do believe that men and women, there should not be any type of violence between each other, but I do believe that a man should be able to protect himself. If somebody's swinging at you, I do believe that you should be able to protect yourself. Not saying that you ball your hand into a fist and start swinging, but I do believe in the whole thing of you must protect yourself. This is your body. This is your face. This is everything. I mean, you only got one life.
And I mean,
protect yourself.
I mean, I hate that she's missing, but you know, from just the little parts of the video that I seen, it seemed like she had it coming. I mean, because you can't keep pushing a person, putting your hands on the person, and they're not retaliating. One day that person is going to snap.
Facts.
And your ass is going to end up missing.
I hate the whole
and
thing.
I hate to say it like that, and I hate to be nonchalant about it, but it is
but can I say something to you, Queen Goddess? Because I understand exactly what you're saying, right? And as a man, right, we always get victimized all over the place, right? We're seen as the aggressor, even when we're in the right, we're seen as the aggressor. So when we hear stories like this, we don't want to believe it, right? We'd be like, nah, there ain't no way that could happen, right? But we don't see these vindictive, crazed women like this. And we try not to look at women like this because as a man, I'm going to be honest, I put women on a pedestal because I love women. My mom's a woman. My sister's a woman. You know, my aunties and stuff. So I try to raise women up as high as I could possibly do it. But when you hear stories like this, you never think that a woman can really do that. But have you really lived in a regular household where a woman could really do that? Because I've been in households like that, you know.
I've lived in a house. I've lived.
Right, my auntie. Listen, my auntie stabbed my uncle with a butter knife. So I know.
Realize. Let me say this really quick, because here's the thing. Because we can't automatically just say it's just women. Because it's also men too.
No, I didn't say that. Please don't get it twisted. That is not what I meant. No way.
I know you didn't. I know.
Okay. I just okay. Thank you, brother.
Let me speak real quick. I'm not putting any words in your mouth. I'm just saying we have to add on the men too, because even so, we are looking at women that are going crazy. Yes, we're so surprised that a woman would do that. We should still be looking at men as well, saying, man, we should be surprised that men are doing the same thing to our women as well, because that's wrong, period. Violence on somebody in general, on both sides of the fence, both sexes, doesn't matter, is wrong. And if you have a toxic relationship between two people, man, either the man is being violent to her or the woman's being violent back, or it'll be a situation where the language of love has transcended into something volatile, toxic, because somebody starts the violence first. It's always somebody first that starts the violence. And then it just snowballs. It goes down that really, really messed up, dark rabbit hole of toxicity that turns into a domestic, a violent relationship. The language, that violent language, happens at some point, and somebody establishes it first, and then we have that in the back of our minds, and then it just blossoms. It just grows like a damn cancer, and more people, more and more in the relationship, these lashed out moments of violence happen. Like, here it is. Let's play this idea out for just 2 seconds. Let's just say that it was her that has started the violence, okay, in the relationship. She initiated it first, right? They get into this relationship, they get things going, right? Then all of a sudden, it's wonderful. Dandelions and daffodils, lollipops and butterflies, right? They're so in love, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she just snaps. She hits him hard, but she's not trying to hurt him, right? According to the cops, she's not trying to hurt him. So he gets hit. He deals with it. She apologizes profusely, right? Does everything she can to win him back. What happens? He goes back. Suddenly she goes in the back of her mind, in the recesses of her mind, she's thinking, it is okay. I'm allowed to do this now.
I could beat his ass.
I could be
Yeah, look, I got him. I got him now. I could whoop his ass. I could do whatever I want to him, and he ain't gonna do shit.
But then next thing you know, it grows. It grows like a cancer. Next thing you know, instead of it just being a slap in the face, it's a balled up fist in the nose. Then it's this, and this, to the point where he's like, oh, she's just having a bad day. She's just having a bad day, because he's used to it. The language of violence has been initiated. It's been put out there. So for them to know and to be used to, now it has grown into something where she is now missing. You know what I'm saying? So like I said,
and that's a sad situation all the way around.
It's on both sides of the fence. It's terrible. We have Madeline Reed. Madeline Reed in the house. How you doing, sweetheart? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself real quick.
Hi.
Hello. What are your thoughts on this real quick? I'm gonna mute some of you guys really quick, because there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nade.
I'm on the floor today.
But Madeline, thoughts on this really quick?
I don't know what y'all are even talking about. Like, I don't know the actual situation you're talking about, but because I showed up late. So you guys talking about true crime is very interesting to me, first of all. So yay. Second of all, when it comes to being surprised that women are lashing out like this, are you really surprised when you think about the history of people, period? You know, women have been oppressed. They've been manipulated. They've been raped basically for centuries. Like, if you think of Europe, anywhere in Europe during any reign of any queen or king, there was always mistresses that were forced into everything. Women were seen as the person to blame when they didn't produce an heir or they didn't get pregnant. It was their fault if they didn't produce a male heir. So women have been and women have been physically abused as well, because they've been seen so lowly. And it's carried on even into the 20th and 21st century, to the point where.
But Madeline, can
I speak to Madeline for a second, please?
But hold on, realize. But
don't put anything in my mouth. Don't put anything in my mouth.
Oh no, I want to speak to you, sister. I really want to speak to you, sister.
Hold on, realize. Hold on one second. I'm trying to ask a question here. So Madeline, I know that you haven't seen the episode. We've been on for about 2 hours now.
2 hours, 13 minutes.
So I know that you haven't seen what we've been talking about. But the thing is what you're saying here in my personal opinion, does not justify a woman putting their hands on a man or a person putting violence on another person, period.
Correct.
Period.
Same. I'm on the same page.
If there's a history of women's oppression and all that, I understand all that. I get that. I'm with it all day long. But when it comes to a situation where a girl, let's just boil it all the way down as simple as math, the simplest math in the world, a girl hitting a guy while he's driving, and there's a history of violence and there's reports of a history of violence, I don't think that it automatically justifies by going and saying things of women's oppression and the sort. Now, realize you wanted to say something real quick.
No, that wasn't even my point. My point is,
okay,
I'm not surprised myself as a woman that more and more women lashing out is become more public, because it's like ingrained. I'm not giving it as an excuse to women. Like I said, I'm on the same page as you guys when it comes to nobody should be putting hands on anybody like that. But are we really surprised because of the amount of oppression and suffering women have endured? That's what I'm saying. That's that's my point, is don't be completely surprised. We only just got the right to vote in the Edwardian era, which is the early 1900s. So
But you're saying that, like, and I get
Yeah.
I get the history, and I appreciate you giving us the history and all that. But you're like I said, you haven't seen the episode. You haven't seen what we talked about.
No.
I'll say you have to see the episode. I would
Absolutely.
recommend doing that because I understand where you're coming from with what you're saying, but crazy is still crazy. Violence is still violence. Wrong is still wrong. It doesn't matter.
Crazy is my middle name. I know.
It doesn't matter about the back history of women's suffrage or women's women's oppression, all that stuff. Yes, we can talk about those things at the right time. But when it comes to this situation, this story,
I was just remarking on one comment that was made earlier. That's all.
Okay, that's fine. Realize what were you wanting to say real quick? I got to wrap up the show.
Say something, I dare ya.
Ma'am, I will say this. Ma'am, let me say this to you, please, for real, because I'm not a disrespectful person. So let me say this first and foremost. I understand where you're coming from. But I need you to understand where I'm coming from.
Okay.
And saying that everything is not always what it seems. You have to look at things. Can I speak?
My bad.
You have to look at things for yourself, right? Intimacy. We always want to think about intimacy as looking into another person and how intimate we could be with them, when real intimacy means look into yourself. So what I'm saying to you is look into yourself for just a few seconds, right? And see this thing from the inner you. And then come up with because we always have a perspective, right? We always have an opinion. But if you can come from the inner part of you and just be honest with it, just be honest with it. Because for me, I look within myself to find the truth, to find God. I know God, he's in me. He's not in a book, right? So I'm just asking you, sister, to not think within your own being, but to allow yourself to step outside of the box and just y'all see why my name is Real Eyes? It's triple R. Real eyes, real lies, the real lies. We can't keep listening to these people and think they're telling us the truth. They have not told you the truth. They have not told me the truth. So we have to find it on our own, and we have to come up with our own discernment. That's all I'm saying, sister. I love you, and I appreciate you. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I appreciate y'all.
Realize
I don't understand where you went with it, and I hope I can better understand.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I think
I'm going to take myself off. Yeah, have a good one.
Okay, Nate. Thank you so much for coming on, Nate. I do appreciate it. Leonard, I'm going to wrap up the show. I got to wrap it up, but Leonard, you wanted to say something real quick?
Yeah, and I'll be quick with it. Bottom line up front, saying that women's oppression over all these years and years is just like somebody telling me if we were still living in the slavery times, I would be working in the house opposed to working in the field. Okay, let's just leave all that past stuff out of it that ain't got nothing to do with 2021, and folk need to not put their hands on each other. I'm not that other commenter. I keep mine short and to the point. Keep your hands to yourself.
Leonard, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll be talking to you soon, man. Much love. Mike.
So what I'm want to say, regarding especially where she was coming from with like how, we should have seen it coming with all the years of oppression. You're not born knowing that, and not that you don't find out information that later kind of, you get angry about it because of all these things that happened in the past. I'm Mexican. When I found about the Spanish conquistadors, I got mad about the indigenous people that got killed, but I'm not going to Spain and lashing out on people. What this situation came out of is a girl was being abusive because this roots to her psychology. This roots to probably how she saw maybe her parents and how she thinks love is like. Maybe she saw her mom hitting on her dad regularly, and it's just a thing, you know. It's not necessarily about she learned about women's suffrage and then wanted to destroy men. I mean, some do that afterwards or whatever. Like, I don't really know, you know, what the pain of being a woman is, but I definitely know that in this situation, it was definitely more psychological, and it was something that she was used to seeing. She was used to seeing another man getting hit without repercussion, you know. And then she tried it. The guy just figured, oh, it's just a scratch, but scratches hurt. You ever put hand sanitizer in a paper cut? It burns. So regardless of what the cops wanted to define it as, pain was caused. You know, I'm sure as soon as he got in the shower in that hotel room, the hot water hit the wound and it hurt.
Agreed. I think, and that's beautifully said, Mike. I do appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Madeline, do you have anything else you want to say real quick before I let you go?
Yeah, everybody just missed my point that I was making on a comment that was made previously before I even called in.
So it was a comment on in the chat, or a comment because we don't know where it's
It was verbally stated by somebody who had called in. I can't remember because I have the brain fish of a memory. Okay.
Gotcha.
So somebody was saying that they were surprised about hearing about women being abusive, which it's nothing new. No, it's not. That is definitely not anything new.
Okay.
Same with female rape being done on other females or males. None of that's new. It's just it's being reported on more often now. And when it came to realize what he was saying, I was really confused about what he was saying about religion, but then he was going back and saying that we need to realize things for our own, on our own, by ourselves, which to me, no offense, makes no sense, because you know, religion usually, depending on whatever one you follow, teaches you a specific set of ways that doesn't allow for thought for other ways of being or living or seeing the world. So that confused the shit out of me. And sorry, I was just, and everybody getting all defended because I was bringing up women's suffrage. You see how that works, you know?
No, I think what it was is that you started the conversation with, I didn't see the episode yet, and then you went straight to women's suffrage. That's what basically what the situation was. And it was kind of like, wait, you don't know what we're talking about, and yet you're talking about something else that I feel does not excuse this woman for
nothing
being
excuses anybody from doing anything.
True. Sure. Fair enough. I'm
on the same page as you guys. Here, everybody's taking it wrong.
Like I said, I think it was more of a how you came into the conversation.
Well, then I apologize for misleading.
You didn't, right? Because the next thing you said was women oppression. It was not. Oh, there was a comment that was being said, and so I want.
I said that.
No. But it's
okay. Slap my hand.
It's okay. It is okay. But Madeline, thank you so much for coming on. I got one last person caller on here. I'm gonna pull him up. So Madeline,
I still don't know what was going on though.
So there's a girl, real quick. Check it out. We did a whole 2 hours of this thing. Okay, so you might want to check that out. A girl is missing. Her name is Gabby Petito. And basically there was body cam footage, last sighting of her. The cops had seen her, all that stuff. And next thing you know, there's signs and a history of violence between her and her boyfriend or ex-fiance. And she's the one who is the abuser in this situation. Go check it out. We got 2 hours of that. Go please check it out. Madeline, thank you so much for being on. Thank you so much for being on.
Bye.
All right. Quizmatics?
Quizmatics, you got it. Some call me Quiz, some call me Maddox. Either way is gravy.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for being on. What's on your mind, man? Speak on it.
Well, first off, I really want to salute you on a tremendous job with your platform. I actually follow you. I don't know when I started following you, but I really appreciate the way that you deliver your information.
Thank you.
And I just really want to just give you your flowers while you're still here, to let you know that I really appreciate what you're doing. I think that you're one of the best platforms of this sort on the entire YouTube from what I've seen. So first off, let's start with that.
Thank you. Man.
Now, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know that you're trying to close out the show, but I do want to say for any of you guys who missed the information from the body cam, I mean, I think that was really relevant because we've been getting this information about this case for the past few days, and it really is something shady going on. But even in light of what I saw on the body cam footage, which I've got to admit that Gabby was acting a bit maybe Karen-ish. She was behaving a bit oddly. She clearly did assault her boyfriend in some sort of way. And I mean, I've had crazy girlfriends before. I've had a girl that I took to the club. She was, I don't know, she was in her feelings because she thought I was talking to somebody else, and she sucker punched me in the car while I was driving, grabbed the steering wheel. I mean, I had to wrap her up and calm her down. It was just crazy. But sometimes women, when they're in their feelings, do some pretty bizarre things. I would like to know, I would have liked for the officers to do a better job of at least figuring out what the argument was at least about. Like, they never really got down to why she was grabbing the steering wheel. I mean, obviously they had some sort of confrontation. That could have been helpful, you know, in hindsight is 2020, of course, but that could have been helpful. But irregardless of whatever happened in that situation, I think that the big point that I'd like to just kind of close out is just to focus on the fact that this young lady is missing. I pray that she is okay. From the information that we have, it definitely doesn't feel that way. Regardless of whatever incident that happened, it really shows the character of this guy. Because if something happened with me, let's say it was just me and you out somewhere and something happened to you, Pascal, and I don't even know you a can of paint. If something happens, I'm going to, especially if I haven't done anything wrong, you know, I mean, I have to let somebody know, especially if your family is looking for you. I mean, there's no reason why I would obstruct finding you. You know what I mean? I mean, even if you felt as though maybe there was some legal implications, you get your lawyer and you talk about that after the case. You can have your lawyer sit with you when you speak. But it doesn't seem like it makes much sense that he would be so uncooperative if it was something that truly happened that was genuinely an accident. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the part that really doesn't make much sense.
Right.
And it's really sad that he's taken that route regardless. And the more that he keeps quiet, the more it makes him look really guilty. So I really hope he didn't do something to her. In that video that we saw, it looked like he may have been the victim, but realistically, they were in the middle of nowhere. And you know, there's a lot of places that people there's a lot of people who've never been found again. So I think it would have been really important to know what they were actually fighting over. You know, maybe she found out he was a serial killer. Maybe they were around killing people together. Crazy as it may sound.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that it could be I mean, there's so many different roads that we can go down, right? There's so many choices. I mean, he could straight up, because honestly, I said in the very beginning when they first got pulled over, he's all smiles and he's like, oh, you know, so sorry. He could literally be a sociopath. We don't know. They both could be sociopaths, right? I mean, they both could be just trying to come off some sort of way to look good on their social medias, you know what I mean? But in real life, they're just terrible, terrible people. Clearly, we see that she has a mean streak. She's got a violent streak in her. I'm not surprised if he has a violent streak in him too. But the way he's sitting there and talking about it, he's playing it, he's dumbing it down, all that stuff, because it shows either he's used to being assaulted and abused by her, or they both hit each other a lot. So he's just sitting there going, well, she just gets a little crazy sometimes because I get a little crazy sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
The most telling tale of me is that whatever happened between the two of them,
yeah,
he took her van and drove all the way back to Florida without her.
Facts.
and made a conscious decision not to tell anybody about what happened at all. And when they asked him, he was not cooperative. I mean, to me, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's not guilty, but I mean, either he's a great actor trying to look like a guilty person for a Lifetime Channel for Women movie series, or no, because it seems like he's going out of his way to look like he done it.
Another Casey Anthony type situation. You know what I'm saying? Just just trying to play it off type deal. There's a lot, yo. There's a lot to unravel in this. This is like a big ass onion with lots of layers. But yeah, you could tell that he's used to putting on that car salesman smile and front like he ain't done nothing wrong. Given the fact that he came back home, he drove all the way back from wherever they were, Wyoming, or even further than that. He drove his ass all the way back to Florida, and now is now not saying nothing. But you came back without somebody. That's some serious stuff. So yeah, like I said, I feel like there's this history of violence has something to do, has something to play with. Is it maybe a key element in this whole story, and they're just not talking about it. And maybe he's not saying anything right now because he doesn't want to say anything without having the proper legal representation behind him and all that stuff, so he doesn't get himself incriminated for something else. But there's something really sketchy going on, and hopefully they'll get down to the bottom of it. And hopefully this story, like many of the other stories that we've covered on this show, gets more out there in the light. Obviously, Fox News is even talking about this right now. You see what I'm saying? So hopefully they'll get down to the bottom of it. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if people are finding out where he lives and is showing up to his front lawn and protesting, demanding answers. Because what's going on right now does not look good in his favor, does not look like it's working in his favor right now. By him not stepping forward and saying anything, he looks sus as hell, y'all.
He's not a Boy Scout. Let's keep it real. Regardless of what in that body cam video, there's nothing that convinced me that guy is not a Boy Scout. He is not a saint, and he is shady as all hell. I pray for the young lady. I pray for the family and her loved ones. That's really just sad and tragic, and I think that's probably the most important thing at the end of the day, regardless of how we feel. There's somebody and there are people who are ill affected by the loss of this young lady. And he's shady. He's definitely a shady guy.
Oh yeah. He's probably, like I said, they're probably both their own versions of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They're really nice in person, but if you get to really know them and they're having a really bad day, the true Brian Laundrie comes out and the true Gabby Petito comes out. And they just happen to be, like I said, toxic people like to find each other. It's crazy. Hurt people love to be around hurt people, and then they like to hurt each other. Misery loves company, right? So I feel like this is a tale in that, and I feel like this is just a tale as old as time. Real talk. Just this one has a weird twist, and has to do with hiking outdoors. But Quizmatics, I do appreciate you coming on. I thank you so much for hopping on, my brother. Thank you.
Appreciate you as well, man. Have a great evening.
You too, man. Peace. Well, guys, woo, what a interesting show. Let me just say that this was interesting as hell. But I want to say a big thank you to everyone for coming on. I do appreciate all y'all for jumping on and being a part of the conversation. A lot of y'all so dope just said thank you, so dope. Said great show. I saw a lot of you guys saying that and just showing some love. Black V Silver, thank you so much. Good show. Like I said, I do appreciate all you guys for coming on and being a part of the conversation today. This one was a little bit longer than usual because honestly, I felt like I owed it to y'all, all y'all aces out there. You know what I mean? It has been a very busy week for me. Lots of very, very late nights and all that. But this particular story, I was like, I have to jump on and talk about this. You know what I'm saying? We really needed to talk about this. And I know some of y'all be like, oh yeah, throw out the race card in the situation. If this story was about a missing black girl, we would be talking about this for sure. It does not matter. It is a conversation piece that we all need to have, because honestly, at the end of the day, we all need to start treating each other better, period. We all need to start being better human beings to each other. Realize TV was not wrong. RR realized TV was not wrong. We all need to get back down to the human side of things and not walk around callous, empty vessels. We all have to be better to ourselves and to each other. And that's why I always say that at the very end of the show, because we need to be. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, please take care of the people that you love. Show them how much you love them. There should never be a moment where you put your hand on that loved one, unless it's behind the bedroom door and y'all a little freaky deaky. That's another conversation in itself, y'all. But in real life, I get it. We all have our moments where we're just not in good moods. You know what I'm saying? We all have our moments when we just don't want to. We have a little OCD, or we have anxiety, or we're angry, or we're frustrated about money, or whatever. We're losing sleep over this, that, and the third. Things get balled up, or the tension between two people. It happens. That's what happens in a relationship. But you find productive ways to get through those moments. You find productive ways of releasing that tension. Productive ways of doing that, not negative. I urge every single last one of y'all to think before you strike. Think before you say that hurtful word towards somebody that you love. Like I said, we all need to start being better humans out here. I do truly hope that they do find Gabby Petito. And I really do hope that Brian Laundrie steps up, it becomes an adult, is a man, and steps up and confesses or says what he needs to say to get the truth out here on really what the whereabouts of Gabby Petito is. Because he knows everything. We don't. All right? But a lot of signs are pointing down the road towards him guilty as hell. That's what I think. I think he had most definitely had something to do with it. And I pray that he builds a stronger conscience and does the right thing and tells the truth. Anyway, it's time to get going, guys. All right? I love all y'all. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. So stay tuned for that. All right? This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall. Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.